The CSA calls on the public to remain vigilant, to report suspicious online activities to the authorities 24-hour POC hotline 292, either by text or a direct call. The public can also report via the following email: report@csa.gov.gh. report@csa.gov.gh. Thank you, and I'll hand over the mic to the Director General, CID.
Good morning once again, members of the press and colleagues. Thank you for honoring our invitation to this morning's press briefing. As has been our practice, the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service is committed to providing regular updates on major criminal cases currently under investigation. Today's briefing will focus on 4 key investigations, which are the murder of an immigration officer and the arrest of a key suspect named Bright Awe, a breakthrough in multiple car robbery cases following the arrest of convicted fugitive Abubakar Sadiq, the arrest of suspects in a case of a robbery attack on a taxi driver at Medina, and also some work done by Interpol Ghana on transnational stolen vehicle cases. The first one is the murder of an immigration officer. The Ghana Police Service, through its Criminal Investigations Department, is actively investigating the gruesome murder of Assistant Inspector of Immigration Stephen King Amwa, popularly known as Otumfo Nana, who was initially reported missing early last month in July 2025. On 4 July 2025, the Kwabenya District Police Command received a complaint regarding the disappearance of Assistant Inspector Stephen King Amwa, an immigration officer stationed at the Sports Department of the Ghana Immigration Headquarters in Accra. Investigations revealed that on 3 July 2025, at approximately 8 p.m., the deceased left his residence at Ashoma Estate after receiving WhatsApp images of cash bundles from one Bright Awe, who requested to meet him at a spot at Ashoma Estate to settle an outstanding debt. According to the complainant, Mr. Amwa never returned home that night and his phone remained switched off thereafter. On 6 July 2025, subsequent police operations led to the arrest of suspect Bright Awe with aliases Roberts or Highest Bright. During interrogation, he admitted to meeting and giving the deceased 500,000 cedis in cash on 3 July 2025 when they met at a spot at Ashoma Estate. He claimed that he instructed the deceased to use 200,000 Ghana cedis to pay off certain debts and hold the remaining 300,000 cedis for later collection. However, the suspect failed to clearly explain the source of the funds and provided conflicting statements which heightened suspicions of foul play. He was arraigned before the Kwabenya Circuit Court on 8 July 2025 on a provisional charge of kidnapping. On the morning of 9 July 2025, police discovered a severely burnt body in a gutter near GBC Satellite opposite Comet Estate in Accra. The body was conveyed to the police hospital morgue. Following this discovery, investigators from the Kwabenya police joined the crime scene and later proceeded with the complainant and 6 relatives to the morgue. Despite the extent of the burns, the relatives positively identified the body as that of Stephen King Amwa, who had been missing since 3 July 2025. The investigation took a decisive turn on 16 July 2025 when the CID, supported by officers from the Counter-Terrorism Unit and the Kwabenya District Police, visited the suspect's residence. A forensic inspection revealed the following: blood stains in the living room and evidence of attempted cleanup, freshly sprayed walls, and empty can of spray paint. A search of a secondary crime scene near the GBC Satellite area also uncovered a burnt woolen carpet stained with blood and partially burnt camouflage fabric. These items were photographed, retrieved, and processed for forensic analysis. On 24 July, police obtained a warrant from the court to search a particular room in the suspect's house. A search in the room revealed more blood stains which were photographed and samples were collected for forensic analysis. A further search in the bushes about 100 meters from the suspect's house also led to the retrieval of a fufu pestle with blood stains all over it wrapped in polythene. Police also impounded the suspect's vehicle in which some blood stains were also seen, and same was collected for analysis. I wish to state that the initial blood samples collected have tested positive for human blood. To aid the investigation, the deceased mother and son have provided samples for DNA profiling. In the face of these pieces of evidence, the suspect, who was initially charged with kidnapping, has since been rearrested and formally charged with murder. He is currently on remand following his appearance before the Adabraka District Court and is scheduled to reappear on 8 August 2025. A special operation is currently underway to identify and arrest his accomplices, and we are following other vital leads to gather all necessary evidence against the suspect and his accomplices. The Ghana Police Service wishes to assure the public that the investigation remains ongoing and that every effort is being made to ensure that all the perpetrators are brought to justice. The Criminal Investigation Department once again has busted the vehicle robbery syndicate following the arrest of a convicted fugitive, Abubakar Sadiq, who is linked to a series of vehicle robbery cases across multiple regions in Ghana. The suspect and his accomplices operated under the guise of being members of a non-governmental organization or religious group. Their modus was to approach car rental companies and drivers pretending to rent their vehicles for missionary work in parts of northern Ghana, only to rob them of their vehicles mid-journey, often in remote locations in the northern region. In one instance, on 11 November 2022, the suspect rented a Toyota Land Cruiser from a car rental company for missionary work in the northern region. When they got to a place near Malzeri, close to Yendi, the driver was tied to a tree and the vehicle stolen from him. A similar incident occurred in January 2023, when another Toyota Land Cruiser was taken under the same pretext. In April 2023, a Toyota Vitz was also stolen and later sold in Bolgatanga using the same modus. Through investigation and sustained intelligence efforts, the police identified the key suspect as Abubakar Sadiq. A warrant was therefore issued for the suspect's arrest. He was also placed on the police wanted list, the immigration stop list, and an Interpol red notice. In February 2023, police had information that suspect Abubakar Sadiq had been arrested by police in Burkina Faso, but he escaped custody before extradition could be completed. On 28 July 2025, Abubakar Sadiq was finally arrested in Accra through a joint operation involving the CID's anti-armed robbery unit and the national security. He is now in police custody and assisting with investigations. It is of interest to note that the Cape Coast High Court had previously sentenced the suspect in absentia to 25 years imprisonment with hard labor for a 2021 robbery in Breman, Istikuma. He is also implicated in several other car thefts under investigation. We are urging members of the public, particularly car rental operators and victims of similar incidents, to report to the CID headquarters to assist with investigations. Efforts are underway to arrest his accomplices while investigations continue. I'll now move to the arrest of suspects in a case of a robbery attack on a taxi driver at Medina. The CID has also chalked success in our investigation into a robbery incident involving a taxi driver, Mr. Vic Martin Obing, which took place on 1st January 2025. On the day of the incident, the victim was operating his ash and yellow Toyota Corolla taxi with registration number GM29616. When three young men requested a ride from Medina Zongo Junction to Hacho. While approaching the ICGC church area in Hacho, the suspects attacked him inside the vehicle. They covered his face with a shirt, tied him up, and forced him to lie on the floor on the back seat. The suspects then took control of the vehicle and robbed him of his daily sales, a mobile phone, and 13,000 Ghana cedis in mobile money before abandoning him near Westland. Following receipt of the complaint, a team of investigators visited the scene and deployed intelligence-led operations to track the suspects. On 30th July 2025, acting on intelligence, police arrested suspect Vincent Betoglu at the Accra Mall. A search conducted on him revealed the complainant's stolen mobile phone alongside 3 other mobile phones. Upon interrogation, the suspect claimed he purchased the phones at Kwame Nkrumah Circle but failed to assist police in tracing the alleged seller. Further investigations revealed that suspect Vincent Betoglo is an ex-convict who was convicted in 2011 by the Cocoa Affairs Court 1 and sentenced to 40 years imprisonment. He was, however, released in 2023 after a successful appeal. Police investigations are ongoing and efforts are being intensified to arrest the other suspects involved. Now I will be speaking about some work done by Interpol Ghana on transnational stolen vehicle cases. The CID administration has stepped up efforts to fight vehicle crime by working in close collaboration with other national agencies, including the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority and international partners like the Interpol, Digipol, and the FBI to share intelligence on vehicles stolen abroad and imported into the country, as well as transnational organized criminal groups involved in the stolen motor vehicle trade and related crimes like money laundering, insurance fraud, identity theft, visa card fraud, among other transnational crimes. This effective collaboration has resulted in the recovery of 43 vehicles stolen from abroad and brought into the country between January and July 2025. These 43 vehicles are mainly high-value luxurious vehicles such as Rolls-Royce, Audi Q8, Porsche, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, etc., stolen from countries such as the Netherlands, Spain, Belgium, Canada, USA, Germany, Italy, and France. Out of the 43 vehicles that have been impounded, investigations have been completed, and the courts have ordered that 18 of them should be repatriated back to the countries of origin. 8 have already been repatriated, while 10 are pending repatriation. Cases on the remaining 25 are still pending in courts. It is important to note that for every vehicle that is impounded, thorough investigations are carried out and the importers are given the opportunity to provide proof of ownership of purchase of the vehicles from the countries of origin. It is sad to note that in almost all the cases mentioned above, those who clear the vehicles in Ghana are unable to provide proof of ownership or purchase of the vehicles from the country of origin prior to their importation into Ghana. Let me indicate here that payment of customs duties in Ghana does not mean that the vehicle was legitimately acquired from the country of origin. To further boost the fight against vehicle crime, a special task force has been set up by the CID administration to conduct intelligence-based operations and impound suspected stolen vehicles brought into the country. So far, the task force has successfully impounded 6 vehicles made up of 4 Toyota Tundra vehicles, 1 Toyota RAV4, and 1 Range Rover, all stolen from Canada. Investigations have commenced to unravel the circumstances surrounding their theft and importation of the vehicles into Ghana. Intelligence gathered on the modus operandi indicate that criminals use fake identities to rent vehicles from car rental companies. While the rental agreement is in force, they clandestinely ship the vehicles out of the country. As soon as they are sure the vehicles have been cleared, they stop paying the rental charges and cut all communication with the company. By the time the rental company realizes that the contract has been abrogated, the vehicle would already have been shipped out of the country of origin. Some of the vehicles are actually stolen from the premises of the owners. The tracking systems are disabled and they are shipped into the country. In some of the cases, fake credit cards or stolen credit card details are used to buy the vehicles on hire purchase. While the agreement is in force, the vehicles are shipped out of the country of origin. Once the vehicle is out and sold to an innocent buyer, the payments on the purchase are stopped. That is when the owners realize the theft and report same to the authorities. Others also buy and import the luxurious vehicles as a way of laundering illicit profits acquired from criminal acts like romance fraud and sextortion. Sadly, some innocent citizens fall victims and purchase vehicles that have been stolen from abroad. I want to take this opportunity to advise all citizens who want to purchase vehicles, particularly those imported from abroad, to go beyond requesting for the customs documents and demand from the importers some proof of purchase or ownership of the vehicle prior to its importation into the country. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the cases outlined today highlight Ghana Police Service's unwavering commitment to investigating serious crimes and bringing perpetrators to justice. From the gruesome murder of Stephen King Amwa to the arrest of high-profile robbery suspect Abubakari Sadiq and the ongoing pursuit of assailants in the Medina taxi robbery case, as well as the cases of sale of vehicles stolen from outside the country, we remain focused and professional in carrying out our duties. We acknowledge public concern regarding the pace of some investigations. Let me assure you that all cases are being handled diligently, guided by evidence and due process. On behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Tete Yohono, I wish to commend all police officers involved for their dedication, especially those who continue to work long hours to gather evidence, trace suspects, and ensure that justice is served. A special thanks goes to the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, particularly the Office of the DPP, whose hard work and dedication gives meaning to all the work we do at the CID. We are also grateful to all sister agencies, and I want to particularly thank my brother, Didi, for his unwavering support. We've been working tirelessly night and day to ensure that victims are actually rescued and suspects are put before courts. Thank you so much. We want to thank our stakeholders, both local and international, for their continued support. As I conclude, I wish to urge members of the public to continue to support our work by volunteering credible information to the police and other security agencies. Together, we can ensure that Ghana remains safe and secure. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on CCTV. I would want to acknowledge the presence of a few media houses, then we'll take two rounds of questions. Joy News, Channel 1, Television, City FM, GTV, Peace FM, Metro TV, Angel FM TV, Daily Graphic, Class FM and Accra FM, TV3, 3 News. We are also live on Ghana Police TV as well. Thank you very much. Ghana Web, Ghana News Agency, Business and Financial Times, Ghanaian Times, Daily Guide, UTV, Asase Radio, Radio Gold, and a number of media houses that have joined us here. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take two rounds of questions. Please, if you want to ask a question, you mention your name and that will be media house. Comfortably, you can.
Good morning, once again. I'm Belinda Alan Kwanta from Wazer TV, and this actually concerns me because it's in my area. So the rides we've been ordering, Uber, Bolt, Yango, etc., have been making complaints about the Abudomen Cemetery stretch in the evening. Normally when they are going to pick someone up, it's either someone makes a false order, then when the ride gets there, they beat you up, take your car and everything from you, then they leave you. If you're not lucky, they might kill you. If you're lucky, they might leave your car with you or damage something on your car. I want to know if the CID has heard anything about that and what measures they are putting in place.
Good morning. Okay. Good morning, I'm Peter Pawadato, G1 TV. I want to find out about the cyber operations, some dated as far back as May, especially the full-time ratings were covered. I want to know how far with prosecution in these cases, if any of them have been convicted, and what is the state of the rest of the cases. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Noble President and I work with TV3. So for the past 8 years, there's not been a single compiled data on crime. So my question is, should we expect crime statistics to be resumed soon, for the updates to come soon, or is there a reason why it has been stalled for the past 8 years? Thank you.
We will take the response before we move the next round of questions. Thank you very much.
Should we answer now?
Yeah.
So will you do yours or should I do mine?
Okay, let me start.
So you speak on the Soga Kobe one, then I do the other.
All right, thank you very much for the questions. Peter from GH1. For the arrests, most of them have been processed for courts, and court proceedings are currently ongoing. Particularly the one of Sogakobe, we are currently, I'll say the court proceedings are currently ongoing, and we are hopeful that will yield a positive result from that. Thank you.
The Awudome cemetery issue, I know it went viral. A lot of people were circulating a particular video. So what we did was we directed the regional command to focus on that area in terms of being more visible night and day, and not just Awudome, because we definitely have areas of concern. People mentioned the Gimpa stretch. It's also another area. So we've directed that they should step up the visibility efforts, more snap checks and all of that. So the various commanders recently have taken particular focus on those areas. So I believe that we should be getting more positive stories. But we urge people to complain or report if they come across any incident they would like the police to know about. Our public affairs department is available. Our various police commands are open. So if you have any particular peculiar case, you can report it. And from TV3, I don't know who you have been asking for those statistics, and probably you've not been giving them, but our department is open. If you need any information, you should be able to contact us and then we'll give it to you.
Maybe for some clarity, the past 8 years, it is released as a quarterly, or there's a period where it is released in the public.
All right.
Any details, the kinds of crime, whatever else are being done.
All right, no problem. I'll discuss that with my director of public affairs, and then we'll work on that, because we have the statistics available. It's not a matter of a secret or anything that we don't want anybody to know about. So our director of public affairs will take it on, and if you want it personally, you can ask for it. But if it has to be released, as you are saying, we'll look into that. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll take the next round of questions. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to acknowledge the presence of Ali J, one of the famous bloggers we have in the country as well. He's the next round of questions.
All right, good day. My name is Fauzu Masaudu. I work with CTFM and Channel 1 Television. My first question goes to the Cybersecurity Authority. I want to find out from you if there is a data so far as the financial implications of cyber or online scams are concerned. Are there data within a certain given time frame available, especially for the media? And also the involvement of the transnational dimension to some of these issues you have enumerated. You mentioned that some 14 foreign nationals are set to be repatriated. As a cybersecurity authority, how does the involvement of some of these foreign nationals at the center of cyber crime affect the thinking of your operation? In fact, there's been several calls by some citizens for a certain group of foreign nationals in the country to be sent, quote unquote, back to their back home for some of these reasons. What's your position on that? And then in July this year, one Joseph B, where Ghanaian, popularly known as Dada Joe Remix, was extradited in the US, and that was done in collaboration with some security authorities. I believe the cybersecurity was involved. I want to find out if there was any privileged information you can share with the media so far as his prosecution of that case is particularly concerned. And then to the Ghana Police Service, This is a bit out of the free of what we are discussing, but given the fact that, I mean, the CID, you are doing an excellent job at tackling crime, but when you take into consideration some of the hotspots of crimes and even the recent surge in chieftaincy class and what have you, there's been calls by security experts for the police as an architecture to also, in a way, put in place certain mechanisms in ensuring the safety of police. What are your own plans as a Ghana Police Service in, ensuring that we put in place certain advanced mechanism for the police in combating crime in some of these crime hotspots? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we appeal to you to limit your questions to one. We will answer him first and then we.
Thank you, Masaudu. Data on financial ramifications of the cybercrime. Yes, we do. We do have data, and when you require, just contact us, and we'll point you to the right direction. Often we do actually post some of those on our social media handles as well. The transnational dimension of cybercrime, cybercrime knows no borders. The crime on its own is transnational in nature. So what we do is to collaborate with international partners, international agencies, sister agencies in other countries as well. And also, of course, internally we collaborate with all law enforcement agencies to be able to tackle the situation. You asked a question whether we are also of the view that a certain group of people know. Our role here is to enforce the mandate given to us and to ensure that our cyber ecosystem is strong. And that is exactly what we're doing, and working with sister agencies like the CID to be able to eliminate crime or at least reduce cybercrime within our jurisdiction. So that is all that concerns us, and that is what we are doing. The other question you asked, today's presser is mainly to tell the stories of our collaboration with the CID. We don't intend to touch on others. Yes, CSA played a major role in other operations, but this is not the platform. Maybe another time we'll invite you for those also. Thank you.
So I have to answer mine. Yes, so as part of the IGP's commitment to ensuring that we have peace, safety, and security in our country, he's engaging, or he's advised that our commanders on the ground, either at the regional, the divisional, or the district level, as part of their focus, they are actively engaged in community policing. And when we do that, we reach out to all organized groups, either as the chiefs or community leaders, and work with them. Because when all of these issues happen, chieftaincy is an institution on its own. You can't avoid certain things that can come about. What it is that when it happens, we're able to move in and then we deal with the situation. But when we do the community engagements, these are the things that we advise the people on how to move around within their communities, how to engage if there's something that they need the police to work with them for, and to be taking the law into their own hands. And they should see the police as partners, you understand? So if that is the situation and they get the understanding, then things can improve. But if in the unfortunate events where you find clashes and all of that happening, definitely those things are criminal in nature, and we would have to investigate, we would have to make some arrests, and then we would have to ensure that we restore calm in all of those areas. I hope that's... And the safety of our men on the ground. So we are within our various districts or divisions or stations. We are committed to ensuring that we are providing the peace that the citizens or people are required to have. we are also part of the citizens, we are part of the community. So when it comes to our safety, in ensuring that people are safe, we are also concerned about us as well. So in terms of our logistics, in terms of our procurement of things that we need for our work or to keep us safe, we work with that definitely. In certain areas, maybe there might be 1 or 2 casualties, but that I believe it comes with the work. But I believe our men and women are all safe in the areas that they work in. And they are a matter of the welfare, if I can put it that way. It's a matter of concern for all of us. So if a policeman is in an area where there's an issue, that matter is always taken up and is dealt with. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take the next round of questions.
Thank you very much. My name is Joe Joseph, and I report for African Television. I just want to know what support are available from CSA to victims of fraud, cyber fraud. I just want to know if there's any. I'd like to know about those support. Thank you.
Well, my name is Beth. I write for the Chronicle newspaper. But I want to find out, as part of fighting crime, last year we heard, or some time ago, we heard that the police have been provided with body cams. I want to find out whether the body cams are indeed in operation and vehicles that will help the police to do night patrols and that. So I want to know whether the police is well equipped to fight crime.
Thank you very much. My name is Ernest Barco, Business and Financial Times. So COP Donko in her remarks touched on the sophisticated modus operandi of this car trafficking or car theft from US and other states to Ghana. And she also mentioned that unbeknown to some locals who want to buy vehicle, probably they do their dividend check and then buy these vehicles genuinely, and then it comes out that these vehicles were stolen. Is there any way they are going to compensate, or what arrangements are there for people who probably end up losing their vehicles, which they bought with all due diligence, but probably because of the sophisticated nature of the operation, they couldn't detect? Thank you.
Thank you. George, thank you for your question. CSA, we have categorized victims of cyber fraud. So some are victims of online impersonation, and some directly victims of, well, they said they use fraud, so we cannot use sextortion here. So, well, they were extorted. There was some sort of extortion in terms of finances. So, to answer your question, yes, victims, we do have a 24-hour helpline for our victims. They dial 292, and straight away we get in there. And what we do is we take their incident report, and there's a dedicated team that will investigate and see whether it should be taken further. And a lot of times we do investigate to the end and help to arrest the perpetrators of that. And also, some people actually are victims of impersonation, especially online. On Facebook, Instagram, nowadays TikTok is taking the toll, and they use their names to defraud others, especially most of these victims are high-profile people and media people. In fact, we are currently working on some of the cases, investigating some cases for some of the top media people in this country. People have impersonated them, took money from people, etc., etc. So we do help these victims, we investigate, and we will zero in definitely on the suspects, and we will work with our sister agencies, including the CID and NIB, and we will pick the suspects. And when we pick the suspects, sometimes we don't inform you directly till the investigation is complete. Because if we have to inform you, you get too excited, you go and blow it out in the news, and you jeopardize the investigation process. So a lot of times we try to complete the investigation, and then we invite the victim and explain what has happened and what the actions will be afterwards. So we do support, and we encourage everyone to dial in 292 if they feel they are victims of cyber fraud. Thank you.
I would like to continue from where DG left off in terms of a number to dial. So we also have a WhatsApp number at our domestic violence and victim support unit headquarters. And I must mention that one of the cases that DG mentioned in his press, the victim reached out to us through that DOFSU WhatsApp helpline number. So I want to take this opportunity to put this number out there and let people know that if you are a victim of cyber fraud or you've been trafficked into the country to commit cyber fraud activities, you can reach out to us on this WhatsApp number 055 1000 900. I'll take it again, 055 1000 900. So I'll urge the media to let this number be circulated widely so that people can more people can reach out to us and we can rescue some more people. Somebody asked about the police being well equipped. Yes, we are, and we will say like the proverbial Oliver Twist, we always ask for more from whoever is ready and willing and able to give us some more. But with what we have, we are able to do so much. And the body cams are in use. We are using them in a number of operations. In the recent elections, by elections, we use body cameras, and we intend to use them in other operations as well. So we are doing our best with what we have, but if we get some more, we'll be very glad to receive them. And the vehicles that have been stolen, people have innocently bought them. What we are talking about is that those are vehicles that are procured through criminal activities. And if you're an innocent buyer, the best we can do is to assist you with whatever information you need if you want to take a legal action against the person you bought the vehicle from. Because as far as we are concerned, it's a subject of a crime. If it's a criminal matter, we have to investigate it. And anyone found culpable in that activity will be prosecuted. So if you're a victim and you need assistance from the police, you are always ready. We are always ready to assist, and our doors are always open for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take our last round of questions. 3 questions. 1, 2. So 2 actually. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kaliji, I'm a social media influencer. So what I want to ask is basically in my field of work. So I've noticed that, especially on social media, there's a lot of accounts being set up to spread a lot of misinformation and fake news. And I mean, once in a while, media houses sometimes get information from bloggers and other, but these accounts purposely spread information and fake news. Are there any plans to monitor them and going forward be able to care or stop this kind of information and misinformation?
And also with the use of AI, I've realized that there are videos and pictures that have been altered with AI to spread a lot of misinformation and disinformation. So how is the cybersecurity and the CID going forward and going to put measures in place to be able to curb that? Thank you.
Thank you. So there are a number of cold cases. The top of my mind is Professor Bene. There are some others. So what is the police doing in relation to that and other cold cases that we've had in the country for the past couple of years? My next question will have to do with this. So yesterday there was an fire outbreak around Red Bull Flats. There are reports that some shots were fired, 10 people were shot. Any update on that as well? And finally, concerning Aswasi, the killing of the chief, if we could know what the latest on that is. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I'll answer Khadija's question on misinformation and deepfakes. So, the Minister of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation directed the CSA to form a dedicated social media monitoring team, which we have now in place. And they do monitor a lot of these pages and accounts. And where we confirm that these accounts are spreading fake news or misinformation or disinformation, we actually work closely with the platform owners, such as Meta, to investigate, and then the accounts will be gone for good. In terms of the deepfakes, which is usually the AI misinformation aspects, we have been doing a lot of work in this area. We have taken down multiple accounts, but the problem is these platforms, Facebook, TikTok, we don't own.
And you're still live here on TV3, or just taking you from the police CID, where they've been addressing a press conference, answering a number of questions on a number of things, most notably on that murder of the immigration officer. They say that a suspect has been arrested. We're taking you from there to the government accountability series, because the Minister for Youth Development, George Opariado, is expected to be the one addressing. Let's take you there right now for details.
In socio-economic development and aims to harness their immense potential for the benefits of this nation. The ministry was established through Executive Instrument EI 1/2025 to create an inclusive youth ecosystem that empowers young Ghanaians to contribute meaningfully to national development whilst remaining globally competitive. The ministry's work is anchored on 5 strategic thematic areas. The first is health and well-being of the youth. The second is skills training and education. The third is economic empowerment that includes labor market mobility and creating of decent jobs for young people. The fourth is civic engagements and community participation. And the fifth is personal development and leadership. The following critical youth development agencies were also realigned under the ministry's mandate. The National Youth Authority, to coordinate and facilitate youth empowerment activities. The Youth Employment Agency, to develop, coordinate, supervise, and facilitate job creation for the youth in Ghana. The National Service Authority, to deploy a pool of citizens 18 years and above to participate in 1 year of national service. The National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEP, to provide integrated national support for startups and small businesses. and then the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat to award scholarships to brilliant but needy Ghanaians. Ladies and gentlemen, since the establishment of the ministry 7 months ago, we have designed several programs and critical projects specifically aimed at addressing the needs of the youth. These initiatives are intended to promote the development of the youth and equip them with skills, support, and resources for sustainable livelihood. In line with the goals of the resetting agenda and our mandate to prioritize the involvement of young people in our initiatives, each policy and intervention has been carefully crafted with their needs and aspirations in mind. In fulfillment of His Excellency John Dramani Mohammed's pledge to young people in this country, the ministry supervises the implementation of two of its important flagship programs at Youth Development and Empowerment. And these two programs are the Jumera program, which is being implemented by the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, and the National Apprenticeship Program, which is being implemented by the National Youth Authority. The Jumera program, distinguished guests, to develop a dynamic entrepreneurship drive aimed at supporting young businesses. The Jumera program was launched by His Excellency the President on 28 April 2025 at the Prempeh Assembly Hall in Kumasi. Specifically, the Jumera program seeks to provide strategic business development training to equip beneficiaries with practical entrepreneurial skills for sustainable business growth, market access facilitation, to connect youth-led businesses to viable markets, ensuring their products and services reach potential customers, startup capital, to provide financial support for youth-led businesses under the program, and then continuous mentorship to offer ongoing guidance that enhances decision-making and long-term business success. The goal of this program is to create a new generation of young job creators and reduce over-dependency on public sector jobs. The belief and hope of His Excellency is that by the time his 4 years is over, at least a Unicom company would have been birthed through this idea. Funding. In further demonstration of government's unwavering commitment to economical empowering Ghanaian youth, an amount of 110 million has been allocated by the Ministry of Finance this year under the directive of His Excellency the President for the nationwide operationalization of the Jumera program. This financial backing sends a strong signal that we are not merely announcing intentions, we are resetting the country and investing in the future of young people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to report that the program received over 8,000 applications in the first week alone. To date, we have received more than 120,000 applications through both the online and manual submission channels, all of which are under review. We recognize that the future of this country depends on the empowerment, education, and inclusion of our youth in national development. As a ministry, our duty extends beyond merely supporting young people. We must provide them with the essential tools, skills, and opportunities required for their growth. The National Apprenticeship Program. Ladies and gentlemen, in a strategic effort to address unemployment and enhance skills development, the National Apprenticeship Program was inaugurated on April 30th, 2025 at the main conference hall of the University for Development Studies in Tamale. The NAP aims to promote self-employment by offering young Ghanaians free technical and vocational training. Successful apprentices will receive certification, startup capital, and the equipment necessary to establish their businesses. For the first time in the history of this country, apprentices will receive a monthly stipend to support them whilst undergoing training. In implementing the program, we have partnered with relevant sector stakeholders and technical training institutions to provide practical skills training to about 500,000 young people nationwide in various fields, ranging from artisanal, technical, to vocational skills. A total of 115,000 participants have applied for the program, which includes 95,890 trainees and 19,190 trainers. Among the applicants, 57,897 were submitted online. Of those submitted online, there were 18,571 males and 39,326 females and 720 youth with disability, demonstrating a commitment to inclusivity The selection process for beneficiaries is currently ongoing. The ministry is also working with the NYA to do what we call the Prior Knowledge Certification Program, where trainers who want to train applicants will have to necessarily undergo a program through TVET and be given certification to be able to attest to the fact that they know their craft and trade before they impart knowledge. And when the processes are done, they will be given certification to that effect. Funding. This year, His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, through the Ministry of Finance, has allocated 300 million Ghana cedis to this program as a deliberate effort to promote skills development amongst the youth. The program is scheduled to start on August 12, 2025, where the first cohort of trainees will be matriculated. This program is not just about training, it is about employability. We are ensuring that every young person enrolled will receive industrial relevant skills to either find decent employment or start their own businesses. This is one of the largest apprenticeship drives in our country's history, and it reflects His Excellency's deep commitment to solving unemployment through skills development and enterprise creation. Successful trainees who have completed their apprenticeship and wish to start their own businesses will be onboarded onto the Ejumara program for access to startup capital and continuous mentorship. This is part of our broader agenda to transition participants of the National Apprenticeship Program from apprenticeship to what we call entrepreneurship. The National Service Deployment of 2025 and 2026 service year. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 2025 to 2026 service year, approximately 130,000 prospective national service personnel drawn from accredited tertiary institutions across the country will be deployed to public and private user agencies seeking skilled temporary personnel to support their operations. All accredited tertiary institutions have submitted class lists for the 2025-2026 service year. The National Service Authority has generated PIN codes for prospective service personnel to begin enrollment. However, registration and deployment processes are currently paused due to the system shutdown of the centralized service management platform ordered for audit purposes. Shutdown of the National Service Centralized Service Management Platform. Ladies and gentlemen, as you recall, the ministry announced the suspension of the central management system used for postings by the National Service Authority. This action followed a directive from the presidency ordering the suspension of the system for a comprehensive and forensic audit by the Ghana Audit Service, and I believe we all know why we've done that. This suspension has become necessary following revelations that the system has been used to perpetuate serious financial fraud. That is the ghost name scandals that has been haunting the authority for some time now, which had become an albatross around the neck of the authority. The National Security is currently investigating the matter, whilst the Attorney General is also reviewing the docket for further actions. Plans are currently underway to deploy a new comprehensive system that will meet all the technical specifications and ensure the integrity of the system. His Excellency's pledge to the good people of this country is that under his watch, we will have no ghost names at the National Service Authority. Basic military orientation for national service personnel. In a significant move to promote national discipline, foster patriotism, and enhance the physical development of our young graduates, His Excellency, the President has directed the National Service Authority to implement a 6-week basic military orientation program. This initiative is in accordance with the National Service Act, Act 1119, and aligns with the strategic objectives outlined in the National Service Policy. The National Service Authority will collaborate with the Ghana Armed Forces to carry out this program. This orientation is designed to cover 100,000 national service personnel starting this service year. This remarkable initiative will start on the 31st of August 2025 in 2 cohorts of 10,000 and upscale to 100,000 in subsequent years. This policy is not about militarization of service personnel, far from it. It is about leadership, resilience, and civic responsibility. The training, we believe, will instill discipline, national pride, and preparedness among our young people, many of whom will become future public and private sector leaders. The Feed Ghana program and the Happy program being undertaken by the National Service Authority. Ladies and gentlemen, the ministry through the National Service Authority is enrolling the Feed Ghana program and the Happy program. These initiatives will train 45,000 national service personnel with backgrounds in agriculture, agribusiness, and related fields to create dignified and fulfilling job opportunities for over 88,000 young people. Under the Feed Ghana program and the Happy programs, 1,500 acres of maize have already been cultivated, with 1,000 acres now ready for harvest. Additionally, tomato production has begun on a pilot basis, covering approximately 100 acres of direct cultivations in Kumewu and Yape. Through collaboration with anchor partners, around 500 acres are currently in production, with plans to increase this to 2,000 acres by the end of September 2026. The National Service Authority, in collaboration with the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program and various stakeholders, is actively working to develop an entrepreneurship-based deployment model. This initiative is designed to empower graduate job seekers by equipping them with the skills and resources they need to become successful job creators. This strategy acknowledges youth-led ventures as legitimate service sites, providing structured incubation, mentorship, and access to essential resources for entrepreneurs. It aims to support 1,000 viable graduate-led businesses in the first year alone. The Youth Employment Agency. Distinguished guests, the ministry through the Youth Employment Agency continues to undertake activities aimed at the development and empowerment of our youth. The YEA for the 2025 year is projected to recruit, train, and place 259,850 beneficiaries under different models prescribed by its legislative instruments. Actual performance as at 31st July 2025 stood at 49,413 beneficiaries, and the breakdown is as follows. Industrial attachment and direct placement initiatives. Under our industrial attachment program, YEA targeted 20,000 graduates through the Graduates in Corporate Support Initiative in partnership with the National Insurance Commission. Although implementation is still underway, our exit plan includes a minimum of 60% retention placement through the YEA Job Center and entrepreneurship training. In collaboration with G4S Security and Soccer Bets, under the YEA's Job Center, we aim to place 10,000 young persons into employment. As of now, 6,500 have been successfully placed. Similarly, the Work Abroad Initiative has projected a target of 2,000 beneficiaries, with placement structures being finalized. Vocational and trade-based training under the YEA. Our trades and vocations program, including the Artisan Directory and the Make Fashion project for persons with disability, which is being done in collaboration with the GIZ, targeted 125,000 young persons. To date, 8,913 have been trained and supported to start their own enterprise in fields such as auto works, carpentry, ICT, hairdressing, welding, plaster of Paris, popularly called POP, painting, plumbing, among others, with a clear path to self-employment. And this program is over a period of time, so it is not just this year. So if you look at the 125,000 that we seek to place, and you look at the 8,000, you may think we are performing below, but it's over a 5-year period. Community improvement initiatives. The Smart City projects, fast and safe transport, and the Shagzi platform collectively targeted 6,800 youth. Whilst implementation remains in progress, these programs are geared towards innovative startups and transport-related self-employment. Our school support and Arabic model initiatives were designed to integrate 7,000 youth into mainstream education to support educational services in the country. Agriculture and afforestation programs. The agency continues to support agricultural entrepreneurship with initiatives such as the turkey berry and maize production, aquaculture, and animal farm estates. A total of 6,550 youth are targeted for startup support in this sector, and we believe strongly that agriculture holds the potential to absorb a significant number of our unemployed youth. Community education and health assistance. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Community Education Training Assistant Program engaged 2,000 youth to support educational outcomes whilst preparing them for skills development and future studies. In the community and health assistance domain, 6,000 community medical first responders and 6,000 community health workers have been successfully deployed, achieving full target implementation with plans for skills upgrading and entrepreneurship support. Community service and security. We have successfully deployed 12,000 community protection assistants, 5,000 prison officer assistants, and 5,000 fire service assistants. With these programs, we are seeking to create employment whilst reducing the incidences of crime in the country by strengthening security and enhancing emergency response capabilities. These models will establish a stable and safe environment that is crucial for the successful implementation of the 24-hour economy. This proactive approach will promote continuous economic activities and boost investment confidence, paving the way for sustainable growth and development. The apparel, sanitation, and coastal employment. In the garment sector, we targeted 2,500 youth for startups. Under the Youth in Sanitation, 45,000 youth are being mobilized to establish janitor enterprises. Whilst implementation is ongoing, systems are in place to ensure structured follow-up and support. Red means stop. Ladies and gentlemen, the rising incidence of drug use among young people is a pressing concern. The ministry recognizes this as a significant public health challenge and is taking decisive actions to address substance abuse through targeted prevention, education, and rehabilitation initiatives aimed at safeguarding the health and future of our youth. The ministry has launched an intervention program, Red Means Stop, popularly called UNIM Red, to curtail the abuse of opioids and other harmful drugs to support the national anti substance abuse campaign targeting schools, youth groups, and communities across all 16 regions. This initiative promotes awareness, and behavioral change using cultural sensitivity and evidence-based messaging. Youth health is non-negotiable, and this campaign is part of our broader health and well-being focus area, which also integrates mental health awareness, reproductive health education, and access to youth-friendly services. The National Youth Festival. Distinguished guests, I'm pleased to announce that the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment, through the National Youth Authority, in collaboration with other key stakeholders, is hosting a month-long National Youth Festival throughout the month of August. The celebration, which began on the 1st of August, is themed Igniting Potential, Inspiring Change. The festival features Youth Day with religious leaders. So on the 1st, we were at the Central Mosque, and yesterday being Sunday, we were at the Empowerment Worship Center, and this is being done across by the various NYA regional directorates. Youth Cleanup. On 2nd August, on Saturday, I joined the CEO of the National Youth Authority, and our regional directors also conducted cleanups across the various regions. The National Youth Conference. On the 10th to the 12th of August 2025, we'll be having the National Youth Conference with a climax which coincides strategically with the UN International Day for the Youth. Health Work Against Substance Abuse, Red Means Stop. On the 16th of August, across this country, we'll be working against drugs to bring to the fore the issues of drugs that affects our young people. Multi-stakeholder dialogues. On 20th of August 2025, we'll have a multi-stakeholder dialogue on issues that affects young people in this country. The National Youth Conference on Climate Action and Environmental Sustainability. On the 25th of August, we'll be having this conference to discuss pertinent issues on climate change and green transitions. And we believe strongly that when the environment suffers, it is young people that suffer the most. And then on the 29th and 30th, like we say, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. We'll have what we call the National Youth Carnival. During this month-long youth festival, His Excellency the President will take part in several scheduled programs during which he will engage with the youth. This participation underscores the significance of youth in his resetting agenda and highlights the confidence His Excellency places in the abilities of the Ghanaian youth. The Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. We are currently collaborating with the Ministry of Education to establish the Ghana Scholarship Authority Act. This act aims to transform the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat into the Ghana Scholarship Authority. The goal is to streamline and effectively oversee the system for awarding state-sponsored scholarships. We don't intend to sell scholarships like we are selling tomatoes on the Ghanaian market. A proposed bill has been presented to Parliament for consideration. However, the processes has been suspended to allow for further and broader consultations with stakeholders. In conclusion, members of the press, any discussions on national development must focus on our youth. The programs I shared today are not just isolated efforts. They reflect a long-term commitment to equipping our young people to be productive citizens and leaders of our country, and the leaders our country needs in the future. We will continue to collaborate closely with all stakeholders, including youth organizations, traditional authorities, the private sector, development partners, and most importantly, with the young people of this nation. And I urge every young Ghanaian to embrace the opportunities available, to translate them into meaningful and transformative outcomes. The future of our nation will not emerge by accident. We must work together to build for all of us the Ghana we want. May the Ghanaian youth continue to rise, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that presentation. We will delve straight into a question and answer session. So I would invite members of the media who have questions to the microphone on my left, so that they can fire away at the minister. So please identify yourself and keep it brief in order that we would maximize the time.
Rabon Bachomi Moachi, within the Accra Kofi Dako, Free XYZ Broadcasting. Bacho, maybe Sasi, Honorable Bramo Ba Bemuno. Na mebu dodowahe se neuronic and se statistics no more bi wo ho a awoni adwumaye busumi song temni dodo a mwetimi ama won adwuma mpa chom pese mi hu eno nso danchen a ye nuanom a won adidam uka bibi se eya na mo wo sike bi a ana mo behwe won mpa cho kwan benso na mo befa so ya sika no ekwa ye behu se bekwa kodu wo mo nchen na akontebu mapa ebe ejuma ye behu se yiwu sika we akodu on akachi medawase.
Yeah, the minister is quite proficient in the Kwapim too, being his native language, so he would answer that appropriately.
My name is Rachel Quarte from GBC, and I'm concerned about the National Apprenticeship Program. My first question is that how would you monitor and evaluate the whole program? Because we've had similar programs in the past. And then, would it be decentralized? Just like we have the national service and then we have the district or the metropolitan.
All right, thank you very much for that question.
Honorable Minister, my name is Stanley Koblako from Pan-African Television. Honorable Minister, in 2018, the then government introduced the youth resource centers across the country, 10 of them. Only one, I beg your pardon, is operational. Honorable Minister, I want to find out from you what specific timelines is your ministry putting in place to ensure that this project comes to life, and bring us up to speed on the Ninahim Youth Resource Center, which we were told was complete about 95%
5%, what the 95% represents, and when these projects will be handed over to the youth authorities.
Thank you very much. So we'll take 2 more questions in this round before the minister answers them.
Good morning, I'm Sarah with CTFM and Channel 1 TV. My question, Honorable Minister, has to do with the Azuma Nelson Sports Complex. What steps have so far been taken to renovate it? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the final question in this batch.
Good morning. My name is Frederick Agri, Insight Newspaper. Recently, we've heard of the youth in terms of the students, some of them murdering themselves. One has resulted in a death sentence, another has resulted in life sentence. Under your purview, what do you intend strategically to address this issue?
Thank you very much. So the minister will answer these questions.
Thank you. On the issue of crime, crime is crime, and so when people commit crime, we believe strongly the laws must deal with them as it deems fit. But one of the key things we've realized is that most of these violent crimes are happening because a lot of the youth are abusing substances. That is why we've launched the Red Meat Stop campaign, to be able to educate and sensitize young people on issues of drug abuse and also get closer to them. We're also encouraging the Ghana Education Services to have counseling centers in all their institutions. Because sometimes the challenges of the times require that a lot of young people must be engaged. Realize that as part of our 5 thematic areas, the first thing we spoke about is the health and well-being of young people, and it's one of the key things the ministry is focusing on. The issue of the Azuma Nelson Sports Complex, we've reviewed it, we've seen the challenges. I have visited the site myself with the Chief Executive of the National Youth Authority. Luckily for us, his office sits right next to the complex, and we have had discussions with the Ministry of Finance. It was funded through the Common Fund, and so we did not meet any substantial amount of money available. There are also challenges with the contractor and he not going to site because of payments. We are reviewing the contract, and in the next budget year, we will get funding. The Minister for Finance has promised that he will release funding for us to complete. It is not just the Azuma Nelson Complex. The question of Ninenini and then the 8 other resource sentences that have not been completed. 2 have been completed, and 1 is currently in use. We are going to operationalize the one in the Upper West region very soon, and it's also going to be used. It's going to be put to use very soon. We've met with the regional minister for the Upper West. We've met with the regional directorates of the National Youth Authority, and so it will be put to use in good time, in no time. On the issue of whether the National Apprenticeship Program is going to be decentralized, yes, it's already been decentralized. The National Youth Authority has been given the permission to recruit 16 regional, I don't want to call them directors, but people to work with the National Youth Authority to be able to coordinate the activities of the National Apprenticeship Program. And currently they've undergone their various trainings, and so they are out there and working. Applications are being received at district levels. We are making sure that at least all 276 constituencies have adequate representation, and we are disputing the first 10,000 across equally so that every district or every constituency gets people to participate. The 19,000 plus trainers that we have gotten online and on board are also cut across, they are spread across the whole country, and so everybody will be properly represented. On the issue of whether we have assessed the data, yes, we have assessed the data. At the time we assumed office, we knew that the unemployment rate stood at 14.8%. Out of that, about 20+% were within young people. And we also looked at the not in training, not in employment, and not in education bracket, which is of critical concern to the ministry. That is why we are deploying the Jumera program and then the National Apprenticeship Program. Because one of the biggest things we saw is that skills deficit was one of the major challenges, and a lot of these young people did not have the right and requisite skills to be able to put to use. And so we are working with that figure in mind. We are not able to give you an assessment of how many jobs we have created. It's early days yet, because our programs are still rolling out. But I believe strongly that by the end of this year, when I get my opportunity again at this room or on this platform, we'll be able to give you specifics, how many people we've put to work and how many we intend to put to work in the subsequent years. By going by the numbers that I listed out here, clearly by the end of this year, all things being equal, between 100 and 150,000 young people should be put to work. Under Jumera, we are targeting to do 500,000. Under National Apprenticeship, we are targeting to do 500,000 over a period of 4 years. And then the YA models, the National Service models, give or take, by the end of the 4 years of His Excellency President Mahama, direct and indirect jobs should be close to 1.5 to 2 million. But we'll be able to give you a fair assessment when we are done with our stewardship and we are accounting again to the good people of this country. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll take the final batch of questions for the Minister.
Good morning. My name is Obed. I work with EIB Network, GH1 TV, Star FM.
Obed, we'll appreciate your full name.
Obed Ken Gaglo. Yeah, thank you. About ghost names, apart from the top people that we've got briefing from the Attorney General, we know that there are some people in the districts and the regional level. For instance, Brim North, we know that some people were interdicted. We want to find out from them, the Minister, what is with that case so far. And then also, with regards to scholarship, last week we heard that the process has been opened. How many people have applied so far? We want to know.
Okay, all right.
My name is Evelyn Tengma. I work for Media General. I think the Minister didn't answer the question on one of my colleagues concerning the National Resource Center. Oh. Yes, so I think...
I thought he did. He did. Okay, there was a question on disability. All right, so he will take it when he...
Okay, but my question is, just yesterday I received a call from a prospective national service personnel, and he says that the authority opened the portal just for some few days and they closed it back. And so some of his colleagues were able to...
You mean the portal for registration?
Yes. Right. And then some of his colleagues were able to get their pins and all that, but some of them do not have it. So can the Minister assure these service personnel when the portal will be opened and registration will be done? Because they are kind of worried about the situation.
Thank you very much.
Apamacho midindi osea kuta hoto FM. Abrofufo na komodi enti yetwifo no nsiaba. Pese bisa minister say ne policies ne programs a wodi egu akwam no edien nhyehyɛ no de ato be make sure say youth na ebe reflect youth no across all region. Like policies, like your region. Yes. Yes, ebe reflect. Yes.
Is there any other question, please? Okay, so Minister, please endeavor to answer the question on disability, and we would appreciate if you answer that in your favorite equipment, and then the equipment tree, and then the final one also. We would like to have it in tree. Thank you very much.
Me fears here wo dia ahoto FM reporter ne be sare ne ho. Obi say yeah policies no ebefa Ghana man na you hwe ne wono be ya ye ja won kran kuto because sabe obi biara hi amboa and utie insema medi kan na because for NIP and NYA programs no yeah channel not even at the district levels but at the constituency level, so that constituency will be properly represented. You know, it is going to be broader. Obi biara constituency ibenyabi Yɛngye ne sɛ yɛtumi ne saa ɛbɛkɔ akɔso obi biara ma obiara nya so mfa so. And then the issue on disability. One of the policies yɛde ato yɛn ho so as ministry is that we stand for inclusivity, and all the policies, especially under Ejumera and a national apprenticeship program, your mandatory apprenticeship program, no, and then say a minimum of 5% should be reserved for people with disability. And so we want to assure you that everybody will be properly covered. On the issue of the portal of national service, yes, it is true the portal was opened. But when it was opened, some civil society organizations raised concerns. And based on the concerns that were raised, His Excellency ordered that we shut down. And that is how come we put out a communication. And so, yes, pins have been generated. But because the system is undergoing an audit, my last conversation with the Auditor General, they are almost done. They are receiving queries. They've sent queries to the various people involved, and then they are responding. We want to assure prospective national service personnel that I believe strongly that by the middle of August, we would have resolved all the issues. A new system would have been ready, and then we will open the portal. Their service will not be delayed. That I can assure them. And so we are working closely to make sure that we don't have a repetition of what we've seen previously. This ghost scandal hit Ghana in 2013, 2014. Hit us again in 2023, 2024, 2025. We don't want to have it reoccurring during the administration of every president. And His Excellency believes in fixing it once and for all. And so we will plead with service personnel to bear with us, that we will deal with it and make sure that nothing untoward happens going forward. Ghost names in regional and districts. Because the issues are under investigations and a lot of them are cooperating with the Attorney General, I won't want to delve into a lot of it, but I believe that at the Attorney General's press conference, he made mention of the fact that some of them have become, they are cooperating and are willing to become prosecution witnesses on behalf of the state. But I want to assure the good people of this country that everybody who is found culpable will be dealt with, and nobody will be left off the hook. And so whether you are at the district level, whether you are at the regional level, whether you are at the national level, everybody found culpable will be dealt with. On the issue of scholarships, the reason why we have the bill currently before Parliament is we have too many government agencies dealing with scholarships. Get Fund has a scholarship scheme that is being run. The GNPC also has a scholarship scheme that is being run. And then the Scholarship Secretariat that has the mandate of administering scholarship is also running a scholarship scheme. We want to make sure we bring all the scholarships into one centralized pool where government is able to control. And then the real targets are for people who are needy but brilliant, so that we don't end up giving scholarships to people who are not in need of it. And His Excellency has made it very clear that people like us, his appointees, and our immediate family members do not even qualify for scholarships. And so once the bill is passed, we'll be able to centralize it and then make sure that people who are deserving are given. As I stand here, it is only the Scholarship Secretariat that I'm supposed to be working with. Get Fund doesn't fall directly under me. And so I'm not able to give you figures as to how much or how many scholarships Get Fund is giving. But I can tell you that the National Service Authority, the National Scholarship Secretariat currently has opened their portal to give scholarship to Ghanaian students within Ghana. This year we don't intend, because we inherited over a debt of over 700 million Ghana cedis at the Scholarship Secretariat, and we are still dealing with it. So this year we don't intend to do foreign scholarships with the Scholarship Secretariat. But I know Get Fund has opened their portal. I know GNPC too does some. Those figures I will not be able to give you. But I believe that once the act is passed and all these agencies, all the scholarships are brought under the Scholarship Authority, we'll be able to give you specifics as to how much or how many people have been given scholarships. Thank you, and God bless you all.
All right, thank you, Minister. But we still have some time to spare, so we'll take one more question from.
Honorable Minister, me pache why is a telephone now say Kokoya say engine red means stop. Mebuna wamuto no bepe o maimu ansana wanga koto. Woman so woman crab or memunsu anamo bang na uri to a found. I say bita fracture yes yenya galamsey. Nsuno wanga wa cry free ni bano wamodi yenhu anamonga yeri to afa enti anamon tu be no be to afa ho ne to so e bi nga twa to empanyemfu susu a wanga du won panyemfi so a womo so womo ni adwuma ye nkokurafo ni mrewafo anamon ben na waso ye no betu se ne be ye won soso obenya adwuma ni bi nso aye me da wase
ya best say oswafo no ne dwumedie efa mebu no ho esabi nkokrawa ne omo edu mpemifie so enhye nase enti eno no yebeja saa anu yie no e de ama oswafo foforo ono de obeka mebu no ho asem ne. You're my sister.
So please, the question I asked, I have a follow-up question.
Go ahead.
Someone
go ahead.
sent it.
Yes.
And they said the 2024 batch of nurses who finished their national service this year in May are not able to receive their certificates because the system has been hijacked. I don't know.
Again, that would fall under the purview of the health minister.
The health
He will not be able to answer that question because I know it is well intentioned, but unfortunately,
thank you very
it is
much.
directed at the wrong person. Thank you. So, Honorable Minister, you may want to answer the last question. Thank you.
Many are very much with us. The Edikai, I'm the Minister for Government Communications. Was second part of a question. I know say Labour Minister Bahanoma na sabi omo medo mo pempen so omo kan mebu no ho no. Now the question amono. Now your question was on red means stop. There were various agencies now as a Ministry for Youth Development, various agencies in our collaborating kon etia Sandro Boni. Instead of launching red means stop no. Interior for buy a national a NACOM for buy a mental health for buy obibiara sabi obibi a health for buy na na ehia na yes edway ye ndi aya fatu ye ho so ne say because in mebuno dodo no na ewo no ye bebo ho dawuro na ya fa kwan a ye be kyerɛkyerɛ kwan a obetumi afisa tibia nimu na ofisa tibia ne nsumu a kwan ye be fa so a ye be integrate o mo aba be ka sabi adofo ho ana adehye ho nti ya culture National Youth Authority say obi e be rehabilitating bi e de ne beba bia no omo apprenticeship program no omo pest lot no mo ni no mo man skills. The challenge I want to say you must be bring for us and they are ehwehwema ye ne dia ye hu no am say unim red no opioid am say air for crossing we are a ton okrum yo eno na ma ne kuna e den kakra no and then answer na me wo social media so ade ba kwam hu ya me yam hye me e wo no for baby obi a ofi around the border towns over spare tire the car in the spare time no wa park it and you see tablets and getting you know bringing it in is very easy. The challenge is I want to say your neighboring countries need to say Nasia share Liberia for is a problem across the sub-region. And in name saying I am borders net but National Ministry of Health and National Security share chichi bebre a destroy no. Yes when say I say na ye de agimu bi. Se me de me hujim na do hujim na unim so obi ye bi na report here and e betimi akon atia. Nti adesrede a ye de to adehye ene adofo anim ne say se mo amboa yen an report omo a omo di sa edwayi ana omo ton Sandro Boni ye mana bed ni say aban kwa betimi akon atia. The man say ebia we also say onka ho bi me de ebia me dofo bia nka ho bi but oba o school ade aye hu ne say ye especially in Kodana was secondary schools even JHS kra almost started ton more it affect you bia and I say nipa no efa dro no na brono bi e friend ko teki say onya bi mfa na odu ni pempen so bia de beba ni tim bia obeye it bia wo de won ton bi wo de o se emfa ho ebia otifia wo wapa nti o say o media unprotected but udu traffic light as ya hwe mo mugina gina na mo clean windshields na ni no. And imagine if any of them one of these addicts na say sada no onya bi no pesika or ball glass no srow ɛwɔ kwan pa so no amfa ma na ɔde by force ɛbɛgye nti asɛm a ehia yi nyinaa yɛde yɛ ho gye mu nti mɛsrɛ sɛ ɔmo a motie yɛn ɛwɔ mu fie baabi a motie afibia baabi a mohwɛ afibia no saa drug medicine ɛyɛ adeɛ ɛwɔ sɛ Ghana ni bi a sɛ wodɔ Ghana na wowɔ simtayi ɛyɛ tema Emma Ghana man no for who jimubi. Na mun volunteer information. Munni momo motono. Munni omonete. Munni baby etono. Mumma authorities na sonte. Mumma police for asote. Mumma dako for asote. Yebe ure honom ni achumina ni etmiesia no. Ye dise osi ebua na ye mabuno no edi ye medamase.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. So this is where we bring an end to today's edition of the Government Accountability Series. On Wednesday, the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, the Honorable Emilia Arthur, will be here to provide an update on happenings within her sector. And then on Friday, the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, the Honorable Elizabeth Ofoswe-Jare, will also attend upon us to bring us up to speed on developments within her purview. So see you on Wednesday and then on Friday. Good morning once again.
Paramount Chief of Equiapem, Osiadia Yokwesi Ekufu III, Oto Bojan Kwesi II, Adonting Hene, Mia Amidi.